Seriously. Man, we ain't got no choice but
We light it up like sauce and sauce and sauce. We light it up like sauce and sauce and sauce. Fli-City got some dogs in it, dogs in it, dogs. Fli-City come off authentic, authentic. We light it up like sauce and sauce and sauce. We light it up like sauce and sauce and sauce.
My city experiencing a transition from penny pinching, maximizing our dollars, multiply triple digits. I came a long way from baby jars in a project kitchen.
peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. The bottom check. Okay. It sound like we good. It sound like we tight. Yeah, everything's good to go. So we want to welcome you to another session of Fli-City Blackout. I'm your host, DeWaun E. Robinson, aka Royale X. There you go. Okay. And so we are here, first day of Black History Month. First day. All right. And we are here with our special guest, none other than the former mayor of City of Flint, and also activist here in the community, getting to just a wonderful soul, Mrs. Karen Weaver. How you doing there, sister?
I'm doing good.
You look
at to kick Black History Month off with you. I said, even though it's Black History every day, but in February we like to spice it up.
That's right.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. And Queen is all. I know, right? You're looking rejuvenated and fresh. You sure do.
Look, I'm gonna have to get you a new picture because on the flyer you see my hair is a little different.
So I like the vibe, right?
Hair is a little different.
And so, but definitely though, it's the same spirit though.
That's right.
Right. I think that's the most important piece than anything, right? We are definitely just looking at the transitions that's been going on not only in the city of Flint but over the years, right? When you first came on the scene and was doing your thing, and everything was a vibrant time, and there was the energy around this city, right? And we were talking about.
There's a whole lot around the city.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I go back to remember them days, like just hitting the ground with you and just kind of just working and just seeing just how people were just excited and just wanted to just do something, be engaged, right? That was just a beautiful thing. It kind of felt like Obama was running, right? You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
It was some good energy. It really was. Yes.
It was super good energy, and I think man, we need that energy. We need that. We need that type of vibe back. We need folks to be inspired. We need folks to be unified and working together. We have to go ahead and start looking at what are we doing about making a change and then creating a robust community moving forward, right? And so, some of those things is I miss. I ain't even gonna sit up here and hold you. I really do miss those times. I really miss those, those times of really kind of just getting things done here in the city. And we was in the midst of a water crisis, right? Back in 2013, I remember it was just one of them days, and it was a dark cloud, but folks are so resilient around here, and we saw the light at the end of the tunnel, right? So tell us, like, since transitioning and doing the mayorship right here in Flint, and all the many things that you have done even afterwards too, right? tell us, you know, where do you see Flint? But then also, for the folks that's online, because we do have a lot of young people too. So those,
Hey.
right. For those who are not, you know, privy of knowing and understanding the work that Mayor Weaver has done, won't you capture some of those things that you did and some of those things you're working on? And
when I was in office?
Yeah. Just give them
so much going on when I was in office.
a background history about you. Because you Black history.
Amen.
Thank
First.
No, you are. So you got. People don't know that.
That's history right there.
You know,
You never had a
that's
mayor.
funny because I remember I never focused on it very much when I became mayor, that I was the first female, because we were in a crisis and I really didn't have time. And when people would ask me about it, I'm thinking, we can't drink the water right now. There were things that were going on that were interesting as a first woman that you would think would happen. A lot of things that they would do for mayors, they weren't doing. I said, oh, you don't do it now that it's a Black woman. But I didn't.
Really?
And a lot of people didn't know about some of the things going on. And they said, you didn't tell us that. I'm thinking we couldn't drink the water. So my priority was getting home rule back and declaring an emergency. And so we got that emergency declared and things started happening as soon as that, as soon as that emergency was declared, we started making some things happen in the city of Flint. And it was good. It was hard work, but it was worth it. Well, you saw, we started getting money coming in. We started changing pipes. We started hiring people in Flint. One of the things I always talked about was when you have a crisis, you have opportunity. Economic opportunity comes. And I wasn't going to let others come in and make money off of our crisis. And I knew that Flint needed to be part of that as far as our healing and just what we deserved. Right. And so, while what was going on was a terrible, awful thing, and it still is, because we are not through it.
No, we
are not through it.
We're not.
I wanted to make sure that we had opportunity, those economic opportunities that we knew were going to come.
Yes, ma'am.
And so to see those things happen, that was exciting and it was inspiring. And I think when you talk about excitement, that was part of the excitement. I mean, we saw us doing things. We saw us changing pipes. We saw us doing the education around home filters and maintenance and those kinds of things. We saw us packaging the food up. We saw us getting that water out after we got rid of the National Guard. So we saw us being a part of helping ourselves. And I think that was what gave us some of that excitement and some of that hope and that energy that you talked about.
Yes, right.
And people were starting to pay attention, not just to Flint, but to Flint, but also to what's going on in other places that look like Flint, as far as the things that are being done to us, whether we're talking about water, whether we're talking about economic dignity, whether we're talking about environmental issues that have been, placed upon us. So we were getting educated about some things and our voice was being heard, but it was uplifting other people in other places around the country.
Right.
And that was one of the good things. Because we knew it was about Flint, but it was bigger than Flint. Because I remember telling people, if they're going to do this to us under a national spotlight and coming soon to a neighborhood near yours, you better pay attention.
Right.
And people were paying attention.
Come on now.
And so that was one of the things that was taking place then. But people started looking at Flint differently, and people were coming to Flint, and they wanted to start doing business in Flint because of that energy that you talked about. We were able to bring things back as far as economic development was brought back to the city.
That's right.
We hadn't had that in 14 years. We had a factory come. We hadn't had one in 30 years.
Right.
So those were the things that were happening. And people were referencing Flint all around the country. And even when you look at what went on with this, the infrastructure bill from DC, that was because of Flint. That infrastructure bill that has come through, that Biden has put through. I remember meeting with Congresswoman Maxine Waters, our auntie. And she said to me, there's going to be an infrastructure bill coming because of all of the work in Flint.
Yes.
And I remember when she said it, I was like, yeah, okay. And then it happened, and I thought, oh, this really happened.
Yeah.
So it was an exciting time, and it was really, how do you play a bad hand as well as you can?
Come on now.
And so that's what I was trying to figure out how do I play a bad hand, because we've been dealt a bad hand.
It seems like we've always had a bad hand. It seems like that's just always it's the same old situation where we playing behind. Welcome to you. How you doing, James? We shout out to everybody who's tuning in and tapping in. We appreciate everybody. We're here with Mayor Weaver. And now you talked about some real groundbreaking things, and when we look at it, right, we talk about bringing economic back to the city, economic development, bring in public health, first public
city,
health,
which is look how important it was to bring that.
Mhm.
Because we brought public health, we brought what does recovery look like, because we had the first ever chief public health advisor, the first ever recovery officer. We brought economic development back.
Yeah,
We brought sports, athletics, and recreation back to the city.
we sure did.
And we were connecting those dots because all of those things played an important role in having a thriving city.
That's right.
And so, the bad part was the things that were able to be done in Flint shouldn't have had to happen as a result of a crisis. I said those were things that any thriving city has. I mean, we were getting playgrounds and parks and, some of them were small things, but they were important things. And some of them were big things, but they were things that made a thriving city.
You know what? And, just even kind of speaking to the tune of some of those things, not to say like, you didn't, want to wear those things happening, but when you say it, it just kind of re-emphasize the impact that was made, right? When you're talking about being dealt a bad hand. We were dealing with a water crisis. We didn't have economic development. We were just coming out of receivership. That is a mountain to climb. We didn't even have a public health director, right? We didn't have any of those things.
We didn't have anything. Really.
None of that.
I remember people saying, we're trying to call you and help you, but we didn't have anybody to answer phones. So we didn't have anything. It was really, we did not have the capacity. And so to be able to start putting that in place is what was going on. And that's why things started happening, because we were putting things in place.
No, I'm just saying that. See, and that's why when we talking about Black history, when we talking about, historical moves, right? That's the type of, things that you can say, hey, this was done, this is we started, this was established, right? That's when you say like, okay, in the city residents, we was appreciative of seeing those type of activities take place. That's why I said it was a certain type of energy that was going on.
Right? It was.
You know what I'm saying? And so when I say like, seeing them firsthand, seeing all the developments being taking place, as a young person in this community, that's why it's so vital, right? To be involved, be engaged, know how a municipality works, right? Because a lot of people live day to day, and you may not understand you going without basic city services.
Right.
And, if you're not engaged and you don't know, if you're not in these meetings, if you're not talking to folks, then you don't know, what we can do.
Exactly. And that you can and deserve to have a better quality of life.
That's the key. And when you're talking about having a higher quality of life, that's important. And so when people are out here living, day to day, right? How we always say we live day to day. I'm just trying to make it, right? Right, yeah. Those things is what inspire folks to get up and be a part of it, be engaged, but take advantage of what's afforded to you. And so, a lot of people, I want people to understand, like, what I'm saying, that was big.
Yeah.
I want to know that big.
It was.
I mean, you gotta put light on. You gotta shed light on those type of things, right? Because if you don't, it gets, people live and people just move and just go on with life.
Well, one thing we know is Flint is certainly on the map.
You bring a lot of people here.
People are certainly on the map.
You bring a lot of people here during the water crisis. Brought a lot of resources and money to the water,
right,
to the city, and helped out, passed out water, right? We was going to front line making sure folks had water, right? Changing filters, changing the pipes. You had a big hand in changing the main line.
Yeah.
How many main lines you got in the city?
Well, we were looking at 28,000. And we wanted to know how many of those had to be changed because some were lead and some were galvanized. And so that's what we were looking at. And how do we do this in the way that is quickest and cost effective, but quickest first and safest. Safest.
Right. And so
that was important.
So to do the great work, right? And put the city back, at least, to the point where, we in a position to thrive. Right. The things that, I guess going on into the community in the city today, right? I don't know if people understand, like, how we are right now, right? The state of Flint. The state of Flint currently. I don't think they know that. And to, I guess elaborate on, just moving forward in life now, being the mayor, and then you also, after the mayor, you were, in DC.
The African American Mayors Association.
How did that play out? Because, that's African American mayors all around the country.
Correct.
Right. So.
And they had a big hand in helping me and Flint.
Okay.
And so it was nice to be able to serve in that role for the time that I was doing that and helping them out for that time period while they were looking for somebody.
Did you like the role? Was it something that you said, okay, I like you able to connect with all these different black
but
mayors.
I knew them.
Right.
And they had my back, and they had Flint's back, and African American mayors had. They made sure that I was in front of certain audiences, that I had access to certain information and to certain resources.
Right.
And, just put me on a platform so people could hear about Flint. And so we could get people to come in and do things. I mean, you think about it, we had an infrastructure conference in the city of Flint. We hosted the U.S. Conference of Mayors for their water summit here in Flint. And so it was, putting me in those places so people could learn about Flint, because I knew if they came to Flint, we were going to be able to get something from them.
No, a lot of times it's attracting folks, the people that you need to be able to, come together, have these conversations, but then do something about it.
Yeah, right. Because if you're not at those tables in front of them, telling them why this is important,
of course,
you don't get it.
Nobody knows what you need,
right?
If you're not there,
they think
mouth can't get fed.
That's right.
Yeah, in a sense.
And so I was busy with that because I said, I was going to make sure people knew what was going on in Flint and what we needed.
See, I think, and even now, like, that's important, for folks to be at the table. That's why I always say,
there are a lot of different tables, though. There are so many tables people need to be at. I've been traveling a lot lately. In fact, I've been in Jackson, where I went to school in Mississippi. I went to Tougaloo. Shout out to an HBCU.
I told you Mississippi has a player,
but I've been down there because they have water issues going on down there in Jackson.
Right.
And one of the things I told them is it doesn't make sense for me to come here. And we have 2 HBCUs down here. We have Jackson State, we have Tougaloo, and I'm not talking to some young people. I said, and we're not connecting these dots. I said, because what they did, I said, it's not a coincidence that Flint would have a water crisis and Jackson, Mississippi would have one. When you look at the demographics, when you look at the issues and the challenges that we both of these cities face. I said, that wasn't a coincidence. And if we don't start connecting these dots and speaking up, these are the things that will continue to happen. It was funny. I remember I was over at Jackson State, and it was with the black journalists. I can't remember the actual National Association of Black Journalists.
Okay.
And there was a guy from the EPA, and he said, "Oh, it's my friend Mayor Weaver." And I'm thinking, okay, first, we're not friends. And as he told them, because we're not. We weren't friends.
Did you know
the EPA? Some guy from the I knew him. He was the same one that had been in Flint, telling us the water was good, and was in Jackson, telling them the water was good. I said, and so they just get shuffled around. And so, no, we're gonna clear that up real fast. We are not friends.
Look, I had a barber down in Big in Jackson. Called me just yesterday. We used to be on the club scene around here in Flint, right? He said, "Rodney, man, I told him what we was doing here in Flint." He's like, "Man, you guys ain't here in Jackson." So I said, "You can fire them up in Jackson." He said, "Don't you know the same issues y'all got in Flint with that water? We got right here in Jackson."
They're right there.
And he was telling me.
And so when that man sat there and said that, that's the same man that was in Flint.
Telling the same thing.
Yes.
And what guy was that?
I have to get his name. If I heard it, I remember it, but I can get it. But it was just, I said, if we're not, I'm not going to come down here if I don't get to talk to young people. I said, because there are so many tables that we need to be at. And it's, in elected official roles, but on certain boards, in certain career paths that we tend to not go into. So it was letting them know that you need to be in these places. In all of these places and all of these different kinds of jobs. I mean, I would go to conferences around water and infrastructure. It might be out of 250 people, it might be 5 Blacks there. I said, but there were jobs that I didn't even know about. You know, you don't even think about those kinds of jobs.
Right.
To lead your children, say, oh, you might want to consider this.
That's right.
And so it was letting them know that there are a whole lot of tables that we need to be at and a whole lot of spaces we need to be in. But what's happened in Flint and what's happening in Jackson is also happening. And I can't remember the name. There's a town in Texas.
Louisiana is happening in Louisiana.
I mean, it's happening in communities that look like Flint. And if we don't start coming together.
You created me a job. Truck driver. Remember when I came and sat in your office?
Yes, I do.
You said, Rodney, I'm gonna give you a truck driver job. We had the pods.
Yeah.
And we go drop the water off. And we go drop the water off at the pods, the truck driver. And people would come from Baltimore, Pennsylvania, all that to see how
we were doing.
We was the pilot.
And we were the pilots for many things. For many things.
They come with their suit ties, briefcase, and just watch.
Right.
I rock with the mayor in Jackson, man, the brother and his father. Definitely heavy hitter. You know, my family is actually from Vicksburg and Jackson, and you know, Edwards, Mississippi. I was just down there for Thanksgiving. We go down there every year. But Mississippi is a whole different type of beast, right? It's a little behind as far as like when you talk about movement and activity. In Jackson, there's still a lot of racism take place when they create that independent court of Mississippi. So Mississippi has a lot of challenges.
But the things they were talking about, I said, are they talking about Mississippi or Flint?
You think it's a correlation between the two?
Yeah, I can't. I didn't know where they were talking. I said, you were talking about Flint?
But is that
because the things they were talking about were the same things going on here. It doesn't matter if it's there, if it's here, if it's in Baltimore, what down in it doesn't matter because they're doing the same things to us. You know, they may dress it up a little bit differently, but it's the same things, and that's why we need to be talking to each other about what is going on. And that was one of the things I wanted to make sure I was doing, is saying, okay, they're telling you that, but that's not accurate. Here's what you can do. And here's what you can demand. And sometimes
they need to hear that.
Right.
Because they didn't, sometimes they don't even know that.
Right.
And when we talk with folks down there in the South, right, they have a different perspective, right? I think up here we're a little progressive. That's why I'm saying, like, if you're talking about, because I think we kind of progressive up here in Flint. And Mississippi is a little, I think it's not saying it's behind. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's coming too. But they got a lot of structure and some systems that they need to challenge and change. And that's why when you talk to them and you tell them, we do too.
There's a whole lot of systems in place right here. That's why we're in this situation that we're in, is because of the systems that are in place.
No, you're right. You know,
it's so important for us to come together, man. We can't afford to be looking down on each other, man. This thing is so way bigger than us.
I'm glad you said that. So, you know, man, the thing is, we do have to come together. So we connect with places like Jackson. We connect with our folks in LA. We connect with our people in Atlanta.
I mean, because it's just funny. I went to I went to the State of the Black World conference. It was in Baltimore. And it was just interesting to sit there and listen, because wherever we were in the world, I mean, we were dealing with some of the same things. The same things are being done to us. And so it was interesting to connect that way.
I mean, that happens. That is a real thing. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in Africa.
I was just there.
And you were, right?
Yes,
so
I was.
We definitely got to dive into it.
I'm trying to get you.
Yeah, you can be anywhere, though. And it just seems like, you know, we have the biggest barriers to get over. What do you feel? What do you feel about that? I know that we have to unify. and we have to partner and collaborate with each other, right? But we have to look at these issues and put a plan together. Because I'm for one, you know, feel like I hate for us to be in these situations and continue to fight for the basic needs, right?
Yeah.
That's what it be looking like to me all the time. We just got to go ahead and fight for the basic rights, something that we should already have in the first place, right? So you know, it's in you, right? So when you talk about, and then you come from a home, a family of people that's been putting on, right? That's been doing the work. We always talk about being about the work, right? Your father was a pillar in this community, right? For those who don't know her father, would you?
T. Wendell Williams. He was actually the first Black that was elected to the Board of Education, but he was a pediatrician.
See?
And you know, I tell people, I mean, he taught me at a young age because he was aware then at things, and that's why I said sometimes things haven't changed, because he was talking about healthcare disparities then, and I'm a little kid then, because he died when I was 7, and and that was why he put a clinic up on Saginaw and Stewart. It was the T. Wendell Williams Clinic, and everybody in there was Black. All the doctors were Black. All the doctors were Black. The pharmacist was Black. The lab tech was Black. The dentist was. Everybody was Black. All the healthcare providers were Black.
That's amazing.
And he never got to practice there because he had gone to a Board of Education meeting in Florida and got sick. And you know, and sometimes we think, oh, certain things will keep certain things from happening, but it didn't matter. He was a pediatrician. White colleagues would not treat him and said, you got to go where Black folk go, and that's what they do, is give us substandard care. And so we die. You know, well, I don't know if they're mistakes or not, but the wrong procedure was done, and he did not survive that.
Really? I never knew that background. Thank you for sharing that too, because I did see Williams School growing up.
Yeah, that was my dad.
I grew up looking at that every day, and you just dropped the bomb on me. I remember that, you know, as a kid, seeing that, and still today.
Yeah. So that was named after my father.
That's deep. And when you talk about the disparities in healthcare, man, that is the quality. That's the quality of life, right?
That we are still facing,
And we are facing it, and you know, and that's one of the things when you talk about when you came in, those are the things that you tackle, right? Because if you're not getting adequate healthcare, then it takes off years of your life. And I don't think we really realize that. A lot of times we don't go to the doctors, or we don't have access to the healthcare. We can't get the medicines, go see physicians, things of that nature, right? And that's just a very, very unfortunate thing in a country like the United States of America, one of the richest countries.
And when we do get to the doctor, sometimes we're still not treated fairly. We're not treated adequately. Our concerns aren't taken seriously.
Because of systemic racism, right? So when you know, like other countries, some countries like Libya at one point in time had free health care for everybody, right? This country should be in a position to be able to provide, you know, not just Medicare and Medicaid, but some, you know, a quality level of service. Because even when you have those type of, you know, when you have that type of service, or you have that type of health care, you're still not being treated as someone with Blue Cross Blue Shield. And that's the disparity. Like, you know, you see that. So somebody who may need that certain surgery, or, you know, need this medication, they're not afforded the opportunity because it's not going to be paid for. And capitalism is a monster. You know, and it's just crazy that, you know, we in this country still have to deal with those challenges.
Yeah, but we do.
No, and we've
and it's
done.
Not, I mean, it's in healthcare, it's in education, it's in jobs, access to funds. If you want to have a small business, be an entrepreneur, we're treated differently across the board, in housing, all kind of things.
You know, Flint, you know, a little bit of Black history. You know, Flint was on the front line for fair housing. See, a lot of people don't know that. You know, the sacrifice that was made. You had the folks back in the day wanting to be able to have free choice of where they live, right? which is, understandable. I think to me, though, I always felt like we were strong when we were all together. When we all lived in the same quarters. Like, like when you're talking about the historical St. John's neighborhood, there are a lot of our people that came up in, but they was close knit. They worked together. Everything that they needed was in that neighborhood. Yeah.
I mean,
that's why 470.
Right, exactly.
475 came through and destroyed that neighborhood. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people don't even know that neighborhood existed here in the city.
Yes, you know what? I had to go to the library yesterday for something. They have a St. John Street art exhibit downstairs. Have you seen? I went down there to see, and it was very nice.
Yeah, no.
And I think McCree is doing a play.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it's there about the Saints of St. John or something like that.
What, you know when? You know when?
Really?
No.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I'm glad that definitely.
Yeah.
Another bomb dropped on me. I don't like putting names out there. But she's a black attorney, been an attorney for years around. Female told me, Rodney, what they ain't people don't understand. Like Mississippi, at least you know where they stand. Up here's the worst.
And I would tell people that. I said, at least when I was there, I knew where. Okay, I'm not going there. I know not to go there, but here it's a little bit different.
But guess what she told me?
You talking about when he's in Mississippi?
Guess what she told me? She said, Rodney, Genesee County is the most racist county.
Yeah, they do say that. Yeah, no, they do. They do.
Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana. You say Genesee County?
That's why I said when they were talking about some of their issues. I said, "Are you talking about Flint?"
They do say that Genesee County is one of the racist counties. Yeah, you
coming
better.
from her, I had to, because she looked coming from her.
You had to believe her, huh?
Where's she coming from now? I know she ain't dropping no jive. I was like, man, you.
But the thing is, though, that's everywhere. So you might think it's just Genesee County.
No, I know.
Yes.
Like that,
yeah.
I never knew.
Well, there's no doubt there's some things that need to be addressed, for sure.
Yeah, so and I guess that's what I'm hoping, because the thing is, we want to leave this, but definitely shout out to everybody who's dropping in the chat, and dropping knowledge. They're dropping all type of knowledge in the chat. Big shout out to everybody in Mississippi. We got some folks in. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't had the opportunity to like the show, make sure you like the show, because that's definitely support. We have to have our own outlets and our own structures. Because if we can't tell our stories, this is not going to be told.
Somebody else will tell it, and it'll be all wrong.
Exactly, and this won't be on ABC. This won't be on NBC. None of those type of things. But when you're talking about the historical value that Flint has had, when you talk about the impact, the contribution that we made to civilization, we have done a lot, right? So we don't have nothing to feel down about. We don't even have to feel ashamed about. It's the thing that we've always been learned. We've always been known to make something out of nothing. Right, with everything that goes on around us, right? We talking about what's going on in Mississippi. I know they're gonna rise and thrive one day, right? Just like we're gonna do here in our city, in the community of Flint. All around the world is the type of message that we have to have, that we have to stand up and rise, do for ourselves, put our folks in a position, and then do the work, right? So I always want to make sure that we come back. We got a job to do. Like, we got some real work to do. We can't wait and expect that somebody's gonna do it for us, because it's not happening like that. Only thing that's gonna get done is what we put our minds to and follow through in action. So I just definitely want to do and send love out to Mississippi. Shout out to everybody out there that's definitely out there dealing with the crutches of the systems, but continue to stay riding and continue to stay strong. So you mentioned with Africa.
Yeah.
Right?
I did.
You just got back.
I just got back, a week and a half ago. I had to, catch
glow.
up on that time.
You got that glow. You got that glow.
I enjoyed it.
So what was, first of all, where did you go?
We were in Cape Town.
Cape Town. So Cape Town is in South Africa.
South Africa.
Right? And so tell me about it. So the beauty of
it was beautiful.
Yeah, okay.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Because people get the wrong impression of Africa. They think that it's a destitute continent and nothing was going on.
It was beautiful. And I mean, of course, they have their areas that aren't, just like every place else, but it was
just
beautiful.
like everybody else, yeah.
It was, I had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I ate good. I ate.
You say ate good.
You know, I did the things that you do the first time you go. Went to a winery, went on safari.
Look, you do right.
You know, it's funny because you don't think about penguins in Africa, but we went to see the Madagascar penguins. We rented a yacht and went out. It was 8 of us. Wow. It was 8 of us.
Y'all went together?
8 of us. It was a girls' trip because it was my daughter's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
This trip. So we went to Cape Town. And I was so glad that I went.
So I
had such a good time. It was interesting to go there. Just you know, when you know the history of everything that went on with apartheid, and to see so many people that don't look like us.
Right. Nah, I know that's right.
But I found the people that look like us.
That's
too.
right.
I went to some
Okay.
Went to some clubs.
Yeah, stop. Where did you go?
No, I was just some young folks. I went to some clubs, and because I wanted to hear some African club music, you know, I wanted to see. Okay, now what are they playing at the clubs?
She liked the Afro beat, right?
I did. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, she liked the Afro beat. The Afro beats actually, they got the sign. They got the wave right now. Whether you know it or not.
It was.
Right, Burna Boy and all them coming up. Yeah, they doing numbers.
Yeah,
they doing numbers. Right?
Did you listen to what I sent you?
It's Afro beats.
I don't know if that's it's reggae, Rasta.
Okay, I rock with that too.
Yeah.
I rock with that.
So it was nice.
So you got a chance to let your hair down and
went to the beach.
Of course.
Just
how long were you there?
Not long enough. Like 8 days, 8 days. It was a good one. I could have stayed a little longer. Yeah. And you know, I said I do have one regret. That I didn't go sooner in my life.
Well, you know, some people live their whole life, they never have an opportunity to go.
I know. But I do. I said, ooh, I didn't know what I had missed.
See.
But I'm going back. I'm gonna go back because it was just, you know, and I remember one day and I told them, I think the thing that touched me the most was one day we were walking down the street. And these guys asked where we were from. And when we told them, they said, welcome home. And I mean, I stopped right in my tracks and I walked back to them. I mean, because I was like, wow, you know, thank you. Thank you for saying that. It just put so much on my mind. And going there, I remember we went from Detroit to Amsterdam. And I had an exit row, so it was plenty of room. And Amsterdam to Cape Town. And I had an aisle seat, but it was like, this is so uncomfortable because it was tight back where we were.
On the way from the U.S. to
going from Amsterdam to Cape Town.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I said,
on your ride from U.S. to Amsterdam, I
had an exit row, so it was plenty of space.
Did you fly on?
It was Delta and then KLM. But the point I was going to make is I said, okay, flying back, I was going to go from Cape Town to Atlanta, which is a much longer flight. And then Atlanta to Detroit. Right. And I said, if I was that uncomfortable and I could get up, walk around, they feed you, you get your drinks, you can go to the bathroom. And it made me think when I got there and I'm looking at that water, what our people had to. I said, you know, how dare me say I'm uncomfortable when I could get up. And you think about we're over there locked up in chains on these ships. You can't get up. You know, people vomiting and using the bathroom. I said, and I was that uncomfortable because I did upgrade on the way back because I said I'm not doing that. Yeah. But it just made you. I can't be stiff like that. But that
song remind me of that. It's Ship Ahoy by the OJ.
Yeah, I
know you didn't listen to it before your time. Ship Ahoy. OJ.
I know that song.
Yeah.
Now you know what? Because you know.
I know he said, but look what he just said.
Ship Ahoy.
No, he said your time. He's trying to tell me because I know you old. That's what he just said. Your time. That's okay. No. I'm playing with you, but I'm claiming it anyway because I'm all right.
Yeah,
I'm all right.
Definitely.
Nah, it ain't.
I was playing.
Right.
But you see, I said I'm claiming it too because I'm
That's
here.
right. You will.
But it just hit me, you know, and I was sitting there looking out at that water and I thought about everything that our people had to endure to get here. And how strong they had to be because I was very uncomfortable. I was like, man, this seat, you know, it was an aisle, but those were just regular.
It was a tight flight.
It was a tight one.
Yeah,
it was a tight one. And so I said, I'm not gonna do this coming back. I'm gonna upgrade. And they couldn't, but it just put all of that into my mind of the strength of who we come
there you
from.
go. You better know it.
The strength of where we come from, and it did when they stopped and they said welcome home, you know, because we're walking down the street and I stopped and I had to go back and talk to them because I appreciated them saying that.
Now you know you bring me back to, so when I went to Egypt, I flew from New York JFK to Cairo, Egypt. And that was on the Egyptian air. So when you're talking about having a wide space, everybody got TVs. It's like a party on the plane. It was like Soul plane for real, like 3.0. Yeah, it was a huge plane.
Yeah,
but the thing was, everybody had room. Everybody was, you know, walking around, hanging out, talking and kicking it with folks. It was just a good time, especially if you know that you're going over here and you going over here, and some of these people going over there, and you might, you know, connect with them. It was good to build with them.
It depends
on the flight. What you mean?
Yes, because going from Detroit to Amsterdam was just like you said, but from Amsterdam to
South Africa, a whole different beast.
It was different because there was a whole bunch of people on that flight. It was about 6 black people.
Really?
It was about 6, and 4 of them we were 4 of them.
Right.
And it was interesting because it was kind of like their little private club, and you could see how, you know, you start thinking about everything that took place in South Africa.
That's right.
And so it was like it was. They looked at us like, how they get on the club? How they get up in here? And well, I said, you know, if something happens, they got to throw people off this plane. We know it'll be 6 of us first. So, but flying home from Cape Town to Atlanta was a whole different experience. Because we're going to Atlanta. We're not going from. It was a very different experience.
Nah, you know what? It definitely is. It's definitely a different experience. And then also when you're talking about, you know, just being in those places. So you go to Amsterdam first, right? Amsterdam is a whole different sector. So we stopped in Amsterdam on the way back. Amsterdam is so set up. Did you get a chance to move around Amsterdam?
No.
Okay, so they got these coffee shops, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody over there got these medical marijuana shops. So it's a coffee shop, but it's a medical marijuana shop, right? Okay. It's a different vibe that they got going on.
It's the red light district or something?
It's just like that's just what they do. They got that, but that's just how they set up. And the streets are like so slim, you know, and everybody is riding bikes. So we was able to kind of like tour around, go see around the city. It was just a whole different setup, right? And then once we got, you know, from there, you know, the flight from Amsterdam back was on Egyptian Air. That was back to the wide planes. But when you talk about them small planes, so we traveled from, think about Egypt to Asamba. Now that was like a 10-person flight.
Yeah.
Now that was like super tight.
Yeah.
And me and Mother Deloney was on there, so you know it was like, you know, when you talk about them little planes, and it feel like how your ancestors, you know, just kind of taking it back. It's nothing like what they went through, right? Not how they went through, you know, going through the Atlantic trades. But you get a very small simulated version of what that feel like, right? But I love what you said, how it reconnected you back to feeling like how our people, when they went through the door no return, came through those Atlantic seas over here to America, South America, up through Brazil, up here to the United States. It's just a very small thing, but I love how we reconnected and kind of understood what they went through.
I mean, if you don't think about that,
conditions.
Right? If you don't think about that when you're looking at that water, shame on you. How do you not?
And then think about the tribes that said, like, you know what, I'd rather die than be in bondage. That's powerful. The ones that overthrew the ships. So they killed them. They killed the ship, the pirates, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, just kind of really jumped overseas and like, man, before they ever be in bondage. And that's how strong they was, that they rather die.
And they linked together, didn't they?
They was linked together. I'm like, man, see that's powerful. That's where we come from. We come from powerful lineage. And when you realize the people that come over here, it just wasn't just, you know, regular folk. These was the kings and queens and, you know, high priests. These were prolific figures that found themselves trapped and then sent over this way. So we got a strong lineage. That's what I was trying to get to. We come from very strong
and I'm gonna go back and find some more.
That's right.
And you said you're gonna wear that? Morocco? I think that's where it's next. I want to go to Ghana next.
Alana just went there. She went there last year.
Ghana is, you know, in 2020, it was the year of the return. So they're giving Black people land. So if you come over there, real talk. You come over there, they giving you land, you know, setting you up. You ain't gotta pay property taxes, none of that stuff that we be doing over here. You get now they want you to come back home. That's what the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, when you said that, I said, I do. I hope to have the opportunity to go back.
You will. Yeah. You will.
Yo, King, how many times you been?
I've been 3 times. I was in Egypt. I've been in Egypt. And you know what, Queen, when I was out there in Egypt, you know, I was hanging too, right? I'm riding camels. I'm hanging out at the belly dancing club. It was going down. It was just a whole vibe, right? Yeah. It's a whole different situation going on. Drinking Egyptian Hennessy. It was just amazing, right? Yeah. It was just like, and when you talk to them folks over there, our people over there, they so glad to embrace you. They so thankful that you even came back home. They see you. They see you. Then you start talking, and they know that you from, you know, United States.
Well, I did eat some ostrich while I was there.
That's new stuff right there.
How was it? It was good.
What it tastes like?
Ostrich. Chicken. No, it didn't taste like chicken, but it was funny. I was like, didn't I just see you on the safari this morning? But I said,
we talking about it tastes like chicken. Why do everything gotta taste like chicken?
I wanted to taste it.
I know, right?
I'm not gonna have ostrich dinner, but I'm gonna see what it tastes like.
Where you gonna find ostrich over here?
Someplace that's exotic. So I said, I'm gonna have to try this.
You ain't lying. You be trying all type of stuff.
I know that's right.
Nah, I'm with her though. I'll be doing the same thing, just trying this stuff, right? It was amazing.
It was. To see those,
she just always taste like ostrich. It don't taste like chicken, bro.
To see those animals. I don't need to do another safari.
You don't need to do another safari. Why you say that?
They took us when we got to where the lions were, and they said,
"Come on, man. Come on, yeah, they out here.
Don't look them in the eye. Don't look them in the eye. You can take me out of here.
Nah, you got to be about this.
That lion and I, man,
they said, don't look them
for you.
Nah, you know what? When I went to Uganda, right? When I was in Uganda, when I went to Uganda, I was in the safari, right? And I was out there with Banty. Big shout out to Banty, SK, Twilight, Mishi, right? They took me out here to the safari. And then when we was out there, you know, same thing. We was in the truck. He's like, okay.
And it's not a comfortable ride.
It's not. They're like, whatever you do, don't get out the truck. They say, even if you want to get out the truck, then make sure you right here in distance to get back in. Because you out here, there's lions out here.
I said, see, they don't tell you that at
rhinos.
The zoo. They don't tell you at the zoo. They don't tell you don't look them in the eye. They said don't look them in the eye. I was like, I don't want to look at them.
No.
Why am I here?
Shoot,
no,
It scared me.
Yeah, that's it.
Come
on, now.
You had a scene where the elephants go the circus. Look, So look, we were at the circus.
Train elephant though.
You can't train a wild animal. I don't believe wild animals are trained.
He's standing
I
up, walking.
believe you're lucky. That's what I believe. You've been lucky. So when we were at the circus, they wanted to get on the elephant. I said, Daddy, I guess your daddy better take you on because Karen ain't getting on the elephant. And that elephant came running up there. I said, oh my Lord, I got to protect my grown children.
Nah, you know, that's when that mama came.
I was like, oh Lord.
It ain't nothing, you know, it ain't nothing
nice
about being out there because you never see that stuff on a normal basis out here. It ain't like you just gonna be able to see a live lion or giraffe. That is so at our Airbnb. It was giraffes just walking around. So of course they had the space where they was kind of blocked off. But to have them like right there in the air, you can look out the window and see them like in your window. That's some unique type of stuff.
That it is.
Man, and it gave me a whole different perspective about animals. Right?
What did you start thinking about animals? I wonder what giraffe tastes like.
No, I want to. I don't want to.
He said, I'm trying to ostrich, not the giraffe.
Giraffes in it like it be.
That sound right.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I ain't never heard nobody.
I don't know. I just
right. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I wouldn't try it, but you know, I was just looking at animals and being like, you know what, how connected we are to animals. Right? You look at animals and a reflection of humans, right? You can kind of see the connection, right? How they made it with each other and move with each other. It was like amazing. So I was like, man, this is some deep stuff.
And to watch them with the babies and to see
like
that.
a mother.
Because I took a picture of it was a zebra with two babies. I said, oh, that's because it was me, Adrian, and Alana. I said, oh, that's me, Adrian. Take this picture of us in animal form.
We wild and peaceful too. You know what I'm saying? Just like animals, we wild and peaceful.
Yeah, but you kind of made the correlation between the two. So, okay, this is some nice stuff.
But it was wonderful to see those kind of
animals. Because I would never see those. Even I don't see those at the circus. You know, you don't see. I see the elephant, but I don't see the giraffe.
No,
you know,
you'll see lions. I'm so glad those things were asleep. I didn't know what to do.
Tigers back in the day.
Yeah, but you don't see those particular animals.
Not them.
At the
circus. I see.
I didn't need to.
I see. No, them gorillas.
I didn't need to.
Them gorillas kind of cool. I actually be watching them on YouTube, but they kind of cool how they be operating. Like the little gorillas, they be running up on the silverback. He just playing with them and tossing them around and they trying to whoop on them and stuff. It just remind me of how Junior be messing with me and stuff.
If you tell me no wild story, you really smoke the blunt. You know, they come up with some wild ones. I've been me and the gorilla got
This show has just gone down.
No, don't take that out. You know what I'm saying?
It's already done.
I hear playing doing all that with the gorilla. Now I wouldn't even disrespect the animal life. No, but it's just a different vibe and a different feeling when you see that type of stuff. And then like when we came out when I was in Kenya, we was coming out to the truck, and we coming out to our vehicle was a minivan. Tell me why it was a monkey sitting on the car.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Sitting on our car. So of course we just standing.
So what you trying to check y'all?
Nah, we just standing there just waiting until we was gonna see if he was gonna jump off or not, right? You don't know, man. You don't know how that's done. Yeah, you don't know. But they walking around like cats. They walking around like cats. Like they just like cats be walking around. They walking around like that. Like how we have cats over here walking. You can see a cat like that. No, what I'm saying is,
they walk around just like a regular.
When you walking outside, you might see a cat run past you. We walking outside, it's a monkey walking past you. It's like that. That was fascinating. And to be able to be right there and there.
Monkey habitat, dog.
I guess so. But I'm just saying though, that was some unique stuff.
Yeah.
I really always wanted a monkey back
Bubbles.
Oh man.
No, man. I did want a monkey back in the day, and that just brought me back to some childhood. You know, to see some monkeys, out here in the mix. So,
you know where
are you going back?
Right?
You know I'm going back. You know
where do you want to go next?
You know I want to go to Ghana, but then I do want to go to either Tanzania, Nigeria.
There's so many places to go there. I mean, it's just, and that's when you realize how huge Africa is.
Right.
I mean, it's just huge.
Right. Mm-hmm. It is. It is.
I didn't know these all countries, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the whole continent is Africa, and like Kenya, Uganda, all those are countries.
It's huge.
They countries.
Those are countries.
And then I want to go to Ethiopia. Gotta go to Ethiopia. I had the blessings of going out with Dr. Anthony Browder. So he gave us a whole ancient Kemetic study tour for 3 weeks about Egypt, which is ancient Kemetic. Okay. When you hear Kemet, that's what they talking about, right? And he was talking about we went to visit the Sphinx, the pyramids, the Luxor temples. You see all these temples that was made by, King Ramesses was out here. All these folks that you might read about, might see the images. To see it, it's amazing. And them structures still stand. So for that to still stand thousands and thousands of years ago, you can't get a building to stand over 100 years here. I mean, they did without all the modern day technology.
Right.
So that's why, that's why it's so important that we understand,
And who built it?
Of course, we built it. Our ancestors built them.
People of color.
But that's why it's so important to understand the significance of Africa.
Yeah.
Right? So when people talk about it, it's like, ain't nothing there or they don't want to go there. I think
they're missing out.
You lost, right? Not even saying they ignorant to the beauties of Africa, right?
But we're not shown that a lot. We're not shown.
That's why you should, when you come back and you've been there and you talk about it.
Of Africa.
Right. Now, I think that's the thing why we talk about it. We put it out there. We talk about Mansa Musa. This is Black History Month. So, all month we're going to be talking about Mansa Musa. We're going to be talking about Hannibal. I think a lot of folks be misconstrued about Hannibal because they think that, he was this, white guy that was eating people and all this other stuff. But no, Hannibal was a warrior. Like, he was the greatest warrior, African warrior back in those days. And that's why, when you look and read about him and his stories, and then all the places he conquered, that brother is legendary. So we're gonna be bringing all that out.
That's why we have to tell our stories.
That's why. So Black History Month is so important. We want to highlight all these stories. We know about the Malcolms. We know about Martin. Even then, we might not even know about all the stuff about Martin and Malcolm and Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. We don't know everything, but we know of them.
And you made me think about something. One of the things I just loved seeing was Nelson Mandela on all of the money.
Oh, don't get me talking about the monies.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah. I was like, I gotta take some of this home.
Did you bring
I said, huh?
Did you bring somebody?
Yeah.
Of course.
You brought that so we could see it.
I know, I did. I said I have to get some of this money because just to see him on every single bill, it was
all in Africa. Like when all the currencies, the shillings, as they call them, the shillings, Uganda and King, all Black people on the monies. Everybody.
That's powerful. I know it is. See us on the money.
That's something to see.
But what I dislike is that that they don't have. How you can come from the United States and your dollar, you might have $1, which is equivalent to $20 over there.
Right.
Right. Africa that doesn't have, you can't come over here and spend, shillings. You can't spend, the South African shillings over here. Right. But you can come over there and spend US. Yeah, the exchange. I do not like how that's set up. And that's another thing when we talk about racism, you talk about, capitalism. Like those countries are divided by the British, right? The French. They are capitalizing on all those countries. So when you go to the Congo Republic, where the only mineral in the phone, it's the only mineral that it goes into your phone. It's the only mineral that you can find around the world is in the Congo Republic. It's only found there. So if the people of the Republic capitalize off of that, they'll be a rich country. But it's other folks, other nations, that control their resources.
Right.
That's one thing that's one thing that I just say, like, I just like all that.
Right.
So the way they getting done over there, what's going to be done over here?
It was.
You see, even in South Africa, in South Africa,
you really see it.
Yeah, you really do, because there's a lot of white people over there in South Africa.
Yeah.
They and some, but it is kind of, but it's ran, all the continent is kind of ran by, those other nations. But the inspiring thing is, I love what the brother in Kenya is doing, right? And I love what they're trying to do now. They have this African Union. And what they're trying to do is have one currency. Gaddafi was trying to do that. And at one point in time, Libya was a powerhouse. Libya was giving free education, free healthcare. You didn't have to pay for none of that stuff. You get married, they give you money for getting married.
Just right? Son.
Yeah, that's how you set your people up in the country. That's how you want to. You want folks to be educated. You want them to have a higher quality of life through healthcare. You want them to be connected or married or what have you. And he was doing that. And so what they were trying to create, the golden eye. And that was a one currency for Africa that would have made them a superpower. And then those structures saw what was going on, and they went in and killed that brother. And that's
funny how I see the brother who was healing everybody that they knocked off.
You're talking about
Sami,
Dr. Sibi.
Dr. Sibi. Now it's funny how all this stuff you see now, they got an image of him, so not even down, not exact picture, but like an image of the stuff you can get now that's supposed to heal all kind of stuff.
Man, he was healing cancer. Everything that you need in this world to heal yourself is already, it grows right here. Everything you need is right here. Yeah. You don't need no medicine. You don't need no pills.
Herbs, just
herbs, yeah. You don't need that. And so what he was trying to let folks know is like those self-healings by utilizing herbs, sea moss. People don't know the benefits of utilizing that every day. Right? All the mucus in your body, that's what creates diseases.
Yeah.
So getting that out, sea moss helps that, and really like eating the right things.
That's right.
We eat a lot of processed food over here. You know what I mean? We eat a lot of stuff that's banned over there. All that sugar over here.
Talk that we deal with a lot of stress.
Yeah. But sugar is the number one. You understand? Sugar break you down. All that sweet stuff folks be eating and drinking pop all day.
Yeah.
That's not for our bodies to take in. And a lot of times that's why we had these health alerts and people getting sick. And so Dr. Sebi was talking about it like that, right? And they said he was curing AIDS. And it's a conspiracy that they took him out too on that level. Actually, Nipsey Hussle was doing a documentary on him before he passed.
Okay.
And so I would love to see that come back and see that follow through. But man, we got something that when we talk about being prideful because of our culture, when we're talking about Black history, we have to tell these stories. We have to communicate. We have to do everything that we can to go back to Africa. We should be creating some trade lines with Africa.
Yeah.
We should be looking at how we doing economic development, what we building out with Africa. We make money over here, and then we send it over there. The brother Greg Moss, you familiar with him? He used to do Africana studies here.
I don't think so.
Well, his son, he was doing it. His son has a cafe, internet cafe out there.
Okay.
He used to have an office in here.
Okay.
But he's back and forth doing business over here, taking money over there, building up over there. And what we need to do is start establishing a collective of us traveling back and forth, just like other nationalities that come over here and make money, and they send that money back, call for more family members, and they building up.
Yeah.
we got to start looking at like, how are we setting up ourselves for the future?
You know, and it's funny though. I thought I said a lot of times we don't even think of that as a destination spot. We'll go to all these other places.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. Let me go to Africa for a vacation.
Yeah, everybody want to go to France.
Right.
They want to go to all these other places, and you know, Africa is like the last place you think to go. But that's one of the most beautiful places.
Just
That's right. He's like,
But it's also like a lot of like the islands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Madagascar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nah, you absolutely right. I actually when I was looking at Etria, which is where Nipsey Hussle's ancestors are from. You know, he traced back his father and them from there, right? When you look at the islands right off the coast there, I'd rather be over there than Puerto Rico, right? You know what I'm saying? Than trying to go ahead and be doing all these other things. But that's what I be talking about. Folks be ignorant to the fact of what's out there.
Yeah.
Other than Dubai and all these places that everybody try to freak.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I hope that when we're talking about all this history, we're talking about the culture, this should be empowering.
Yeah.
And we should take that type of spirit back here at home. We should be looking at it like as a collective. We are a group. Whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not, we got to be together. We got to be as one. And then when we start operating and moving like that, stuff going to change for us. We ain't going to be divisive and divided all the time because we're going to be looking after each other. We see the value in one another.
Right.
And that's what, you know, that's what it did for me going and seeing all these different things. It's like, you know what, how can I go back home and then, you know, feel like, you know, I got to go against my own people? Like, that is crazy. Actually, we have to be unified and working together. So I'm just hoping that, you know, it's inspiring us here in a little bitty city Flint, right? That people want to go back home. They want to learn about, you know, they want to learn about the history. And I ain't talking about the last 400 years. I'm sick and tired of talking about the last 400 years of slavery. Our history did not start in slavery.
Right.
We got to stop drilling in our kids. I'm telling you, when you talk to the children today in schools, the education system, all they know is slavery. They don't get nothing beyond slavery. Right. I didn't know nothing about none of this stuff, you know, coming up. My teacher told me Christopher Columbus discovered America. And so when I found out the truth, you know, I had to go back and find her for that. Like, why would you tell me that nonsense? No, I'm just saying.
I know it's real too.
What the heck? Yeah, got me all the way messed up. And that's why you got to be knowing your stuff. But then, once you know who you are, and you have self-love, then you can be able to know how. You ain't on that silly stuff. You know what the real is. Listen, this Black History Month.
Black History Month.
We celebrating. We want to make sure that we understand our history. It's the first day. We got 29 days here in February.
Oh, yes.
Going in.
Leap year, huh?
It's a leap year.
It's a leap year.
Be sure, make sure you everybody like the show. Everybody like the show. Make sure you share it and subscribe, right? Make sure y'all do that too, right? The thing is, like, we want to be empowering, not just for the month of February.
Right, exactly.
We want to take this every day of our life, because Black History is 365.
That's right. I said we just spicing it up in the month of
We
February.
just spicing it up. And we're going to continue to keep spicing it up, but we want to continue to keep using this energy that, you know, we spiced up right now for February. Make sure we carry that out all year. We need to be a part of Juneteenth. We got Juneteenth. We'll be celebrating 52 years of Flint County Juneteenth, right?
That's right.
And, you know, giving reverence to Dr. E. Hill DeLong.
That's right.
Right? For introducing this concept to this community. We talk about Kwanzaa, right? We just celebrate Kwanzaa, right? We need everybody involved in Kwanzaa every year now, right? Because Kwanzaa gives us them basic principles. Yeah. When you talk about unity, self-determination, collective work responsibility, cooperative economics, faith, purpose, right? All those things is basic things that we have to have. So we practice Kwanzaa the day after Christmas leading up to the 1st. And then, of course, we got Juneteenth. We have to be about Juneteenth this year. Last year we did 11 days. right?
It was a lot.
It was a lot of days.
You know, there was a lot going on.
There's a lot going
There was
on.
a lot going on. There was a lot of
Good.
stuff happening.
Good, yeah. And we need more. Because they used to celebrate the whole month of June. Now we just trying to get back to those days and to that reverence, right? But the thing is, Juneteenth will be this year. We're looking to start on the 8th this year, and we're looking to run to the 19th. So if you all want to get involved, if anybody want to get involved, we meet on Mondays at 5 o'clock. You know, if you got, we got an hour to spare. I know everybody busy. But if you got an hour to spare to be able to be on these meetings to talk about what you like, what value you like to add to Juneteenth, we do meet on Juneteenth. Maybe we should put that in the chat too, because that's something that we are planning for right now. We just had our first meeting Monday. Okay. Right. So we need you too on there, man.
Absolutely.
I'm getting the fumbling fingers.
See, you see how he put me on the spot?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. You too, Mike. What the heck?
See?
Dang,
Mike,
yeah.
just called you out.
Yeah. Man, listen, we need, especially y'all young brothers.
Listen, I'm always part of Juneteenth, so I ain't worried about it.
Yeah. You didn't see all Juneteenth last year.
Yeah.
Where were you at?
You don't
What's
remember
up?
me directing the traffic out of there all
Mike was just coming down the street. I don't even think he knew that Juneteenth was going on at the time. Mike just blasted around. Mike coming down like he ain't even. He's like, what is all this going on right here? You know what I'm saying? Listen, I give it to him. I give it to him though. He did hop out the car. He did direct traffic. He was out there getting to it, right? The police wasn't doing it because who we gonna depend on the police? We supposed to do it.
So that's
That's what Brother Rodney like. I got some gas money. Come on, man. Listen, we need all hands on deck for Juneteenth. Please, like, join it. Just come to a meeting sometime, right? You know what I'm saying? It's every Monday now. She dropped it in the chat. Every Monday we meet at 5 o'clock. It's on Zoom. The information's in the chat. Make yourself available. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. You'll find goodness when you work with organizations working together. And we got like 12 organizations working together on here. It's a lot of people be on these calls and they looking to go and do because everybody takes a day. And that's the thing about my brother Reggie always saying, many hands make light work.
That's right.
So if we can have folks, taking days and, coordinating, facilitating activities, all in the vein of education, right? Because the main thing is always about educating. Just like when you talked about when we came through the Atlantic slave trade and we over here and they worked all these years for free. You should be on fire for that. And then, after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863, until 1865 is when the last ones were freed. The last enslaved people was let go. And that's unfortunate. They didn't have internet. I couldn't call you on the phone like, hey, bro, man, this is on right now. None of that. And the word finally reached Galveston, Texas in 1865. And then that's when folks around the country realized that it was a free state. And so that's why we educate each other. And that's why we talk about these things. And that's why these dates are so important. And folks need to understand this and know this. Our people that put in that work for 400 years for us to be in these positions and be able to move and operate the way that we're doing now, how we should be anyway. And we still got battles to fight now. Just because, you don't have them chains on you right now, don't necessarily mean they're on your head. Mentally.
I was going to say there's some mental chains.
That's what I mean. So, and we got to be able to go ahead and break those. So that's what that's all about, Juneteenth, breaking chains. All year we breaking chains. I think, maybe let's go ahead and when we talk about Black history, we're going to be spreading that information all through the month. But let's put some mechanism in place how we're breaking chains. Right?
Yeah.
And we do it. All that, going against each other and, friction and fighting and fussing, we all going to disagree. Everybody going to disagree. Ain't nobody all gonna get along. Everybody just ain't gonna get along. At the end of the day, listen, your success is my success. So if we sit in the same sectors and we in the same city, no matter what you're doing, it's like a basketball team. We all on the same team. You might be the point guard, might be the small forward, but listen, we here to win. We play to win.
Right.
We better be looking at it to win. So we have to start putting those mechanisms in place that we gonna be on the same team. We gonna be on the same side. And then if we got disagreements, right, we know how to deal with them behind the scenes, where it's not all messy on the front end, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping definitely, man, we can definitely make those things, come to fruition this year.
Let's try.
So
Can't stop.
no, we not gonna stop.
Can't stop.
We ain't gonna stop.
That's right.
We got children coming up.
When you stop, you've been defeated.
Exactly.
You've been defeated.
Exactly. Nah, that's real. And that's like when you think that you know it all.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the learning stops, right? You don't grow.
Right.
So we got some real things that we're gonna be looking to change, for the culture, for our community, and within ourselves. Mother always say, like, the first thing first, you gotta look in the mirror.
Right.
You gotta look in the mirror and be like, all right, what am I doing to change the circumstances? Not only, my situation, but then how am I changing it for others?
Right.
There you go. Yeah. So that's our whole motive all year, sis. We gonna be locking it low, and we gonna be getting to it.
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. We ain't got no choice but to be ready. Right?
Right. We got to worry about getting ready. Stay ready.
Stay ready.
Come on, man. Listen, I'm about definitely, man. It's about change. So when we moving forward in this community, what type of things do you suggest? Right, as already been a mayor here in the city, already
Really just being engaged.
Okay.
Get engaged. Show up at different kinds of things, and do your own research.
Yes.
Do your own research.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just take what other people tell you.
That's true.
Come to city council.
Yeah, and show up. Go to city council. Go to a school board meeting. Go to the commissioners meeting. Go. Get involved in your neighborhood and block clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those things.
That's big.
Get involved somewhere to make a difference and be informed.
That's big. Going into those, working in the neighborhoods.
Working in the neighborhood.
When you talking about, looking at yourself, this might be starting with cutting your grass.
Right.
Right.
Be neighborly.
Be neighborly.
Be neighborly.
Right. Right. Nah, that's
some of it are simple things
if
that
you
we
live
can
in
do.
coexisting, cohabitating with brown folks, then be neighborly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Make it warm. Right. Watch over the children in the neighborhood.
Right.
Oh yeah, we was talking so much I forgot.
Yeah. Get engaged.
Yeah, get engaged. Be
Or what
involved.
are you doing
Exactly.
to change it?
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. And them be the ones with the most to say.
Right.
So
Ain't doing nothing.
So get engaged.
They was talking about I see you too, Avon. They were saying the slumlord situation here in the city of Flint, and landlords and I would just say too, this about home ownership, right? We got to start owning our own properties, and then we won't have to deal with those slumlords. Right? If you own your property, if you able to go ahead and take care of your business as a property owner, then you won't have to worry about living in a slumlord situation, right? I wanted to make out just that because they did say that about the slumlord piece. And then also, so when we talk about the water crisis, I know everybody, that's a big thing on the water crisis. Them checks still ain't came yet.
And you know what?
10 years. What's up?
I guess they figured at some point people stop looking. I don't know.
Yeah, that's unfortunate to be able to still, because I won't understand, like, when we go around the country, people think that Flint is made whole. That is farthest from the truth.
Right.
We are not made whole. I know our folks in Cali, I was out there last week, they thought the water crisis was over. Trust and believe, we still fighting. We still, we still looking at not even only get paid, but we still trying to make sure folks are being held accountable. Right? That's a real thing. And I know when you was in office, we was looking at those
talked
different
about
things.
that a lot.
Yeah.
And it hasn't happened.
And we ain't heard nothing ever
And
since.
that's why I've said if they will do to us what they've done in a national spotlight, think of what they're going to do in other places.
So
Absolutely.
when that's going on in all them other states we named, Flint was like a poster child. We should have been making sure that we was setting that mold and educating them about some of the things that we've done over here in Flint and helping them through their crisis.
Exactly, because learn from what we've been through.
That's right.
That was one of the things I would tell people is don't let us go through a crisis and not learn
Right.
from Flint.
Right.
There's some things that don't have to be repeated, and some things you can just cut through when you see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we could do that.
Yeah.
So
we got a lot of work here in the city of Flint. I know we still trying to go ahead and get through this crisis. Once again, I got to put the plug in. Make sure everybody is liking the show. Be sure to share.
For inviting me to the show.
I appreciate you coming on, bringing all this light from Africa and all this good energy, right? Because you feel like a different person coming from Africa. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm still on cloud 9, so it's something that's about you, and people see it in you because now you exemplifying that. When I was in the Sphinx, when I was in the pyramid, right? You got to climb in the pyramid. When I went in the pyramid, when I finally got into like the center place, they call it the center place of the earth. Everybody was like praying and meditating, just crying and just taking it all in. And, I was eating the dirt. I was just taking it all in because it was you never know when you can get back.
Right.
So you just kind of like just really just embodying it.
Yeah.
That same way that I felt when I was in that pyramid. When I came out, it just seemed like it was just a light. Because it's a certain type of energy that's a transmitter. So people think just a pyramid. No, it carries a certain type of energy, 45-degree angle from the sun. So when it's hitting it and it's activating, that's what they was doing back in the day. So when you come back here to like the States and things of that nature, you just look and feel different.
You do.
And people can see it in you and see it on you. So I know you just like, not only do you feel good about, being there, but you also bringing that back. And so
you can't help it.
No, you can't.
You can't help it.
You can't help it at all.
And when you get there, you just have to stop. I just have to stop and take it in.
And thank the Most High.
Because I said, I am here.
I know, right? That's exactly how to come out the plane. It's like, oh,
I'm here.
Mike, you gotta get ready to go next year, man.
Yeah, no, I'm planning to go sometime soon. We got a lot of work to do here. Shoot.
Yeah,
real.
Yeah. We're gonna do work. We're gonna do work here. So,
but I like what you were saying about us coming together and starting to take our money back over there to build up.
Well, we better
that is
do it.
One way to do it.
We better do it.
And there are people that are doing that.
Yeah.
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 There are people that are doing that.
Yeah.
But we need to be more about that.
Yes.
Because like you said, other people from other places do it all the time.
I don't even think nobody think about going to start a business in another country or something like that,
No,
it's
you
forbidden
don't.
or something,
Yeah.
It's not,
No, it's not. It's not forbidden at all. I think, what we should do is like kind of maybe put a consortium together, right? Identify an area where we want to work in, identify an industry which we want to invest in. And then, we just slowly put tools and fuse together. And then, start planning a trip to go out. That's right. Right. Go see the place, right? Work with the natives. And then, you kind of get going from there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so now I want to challenge us this year to do that. Yeah, let's do it. I know you plan on going back. I do. Maybe we can put a group effort together. Group trip. I know Mother was talking about going back to Egypt. I think later on this year.
Okay.
But
wow. I was following Akon plan for a minute. I haven't heard nothing else about it though.
He built the whole city.
Is it done yet? It's done.
He even put the lights in. No, he got the light. He bought the land. Got the lights going. Right. The development, housing, and all that stuff is in play.
So it's in stages.
Yeah, yes, in stages. He ain't doing no music. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? He thinking about.
Now that's something we'll look to see.
Yeah, I respect him for for doing that. I appreciate him, shedding light on it. Right? You know what I'm saying?
That's a big thing.
Yeah, that's it's
a big thing.
So what's next for you? Man?
I'm working on some things. Actually, I'm getting ready to start a program, and I'm gonna be talking about it soon. But it's with some young girls. Be doing some work with some young girls.
Okay, all right, okay.
Look for it.
Look for it.
Next, this is February. Yeah, I'll be making an announcement about it very soon.
Oh, that's gonna be brilliant.
Yeah, and it's something that we've been doing through the foundation and working with Kimberly Coulter.
Okay.
And so it's a program that we're going to be doing for young girls on a certain career path.
Is it going to be engaged in politics or just life?
And really in entrepreneurship, economic development kinds of things.
Okay.
But it's focused on entrepreneurship and some young girls. So.
All right, I think that's actually I think more or less maybe when you kind of ready to roll it out.
I'm gonna let you know.
Oh, yeah. We can definitely.
Because I'm excited about it.
You got to be excited
about it.
Excited about
And I just figured, we'll start it in March. It's Women's History Month. We're gonna be working with young ladies, so it's gonna kick off in March.
You know what? Let me know first thing, and then maybe we can bring you and the ladies in, and we kind of talk about it, promote it, and say what's going on, and see how we can support it. Okay,
it'll be good.
You need to tap in with that too now.
It'll be good.
Take it with you too, man. Take her to Africa with you. See,
I'm looking forward to it. So you'll be hearing about it very soon.
Beautiful, bro. I just appreciate, I appreciate, you. I appreciate us. I appreciate, the work and the impact that, that has yet to come to fruition, right? And, I just want, nothing but the best. So you always been a phenomenal soul, man. And I always, ever since, back in, I always felt that about you, man. You always been the same way. It ain't never nothing different. You know how people get in position, and how I be saying, people feel out with, I'm just saying, people do act like that though now.
I know.
But you always.
I said, you know what? I said I'm not going away.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna stop working.
That's right.
I may do it differently, but I'm still doing it.
Come on now.
I'm still doing it. I said because I may not be in this seat, but it doesn't mean you can't do it from this one over here. I said, so one thing is that doesn't stop me.
That's right.
And we can't let those things stop us. So if you're not doing this, you can still have impact and make a difference and a positive difference. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you truly want to do, then you have to care.
You don't even have to be in them capacities to
exactly
make impact.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's where people got to really understand that. Yeah. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can go ahead and you can definitely get to it. I see we checking the time, so yeah, she on the flow with it.
Mayor Keith.
She on tour.
What you saw? No, he didn't.
Come back from Africa. I got the 745 call here. No,
somebody got to keep me on track.
No, definitely don't.
I'm about to say, Mayor keep you on track. Should get a call early in the morning and be going from there.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Nah,
when you working, that's what we got work to do.
That's right. Nah, and keep that going.
That's right.
And anyway,
and it takes us all to do that, and so that's what we all have. And I think we all have a responsibility to do that.
Yes.
We all have a responsibility to do it.
Yeah, come on now. Now, do you feel like anything else left in politics you're gonna get into?
Okay, so what time is my call?
You know I had to ask.
That's fine.
I had to ask. We anything you just.
I don't have anything to say about politics.
You
as far as that goes, go vote.
Please go vote. Please go vote. Goodness gracious, we can't remember, go vote. We got a
But this is
special
all this stuff is political, and it all ties in. So
okay, we got some special elections in May. Please make sure you register to vote. Getting out there, tell a friend, take a friend, because those are very important. You got those city council down there. You want to make sure that you have some light beams on there because that's the Go Eagle branch of government. You want to make sure that they're doing the checks and balances. And you need folks that's working on behalf of those folks and those constituents in them wards. So you got the 7th and the 9th coming up in May, and you may even potentially have the second ward, right? With I think they got the recall going, so I think they got I think that's in motion. Whatever the case may be, regardless of any, make sure that you are ready to vote. Make sure you do your research. Make sure that we have viable candidates, right? If you're going to go into politics, if you're going to get in position, if you're going to run, make sure that you first and foremost, you qualify, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean you don't have to have art education. But the thing is, if you're willing to learn, it don't matter if you're just a young person, just want to do something, make a change. You want to be connected to the community. You want to be able to have the heart for humanity. You want to be able to learn from those ones who did it before, so they can enlighten you on some things, right? And we need you to definitely stay on the constituent side. I can't stress that enough. That has always been a thing for us. So we want to make sure we ain't voting at just 11% no more. But we are taking it up to 60, 70, 80%, right? And everybody can say, like, I voted, I had a voting democracy, right? I'm here, I have a voice. I can go to my elected leader and be able to talk about what I like to see in my neighborhood, right? And then the primaries in August with the general in November. So we really want to make sure that they play a part. But if we had our finances together, though, man, we wouldn't necessarily, didn't matter who's in office, because we'd be stakeholders. Right?
You said we'd be stakeholders.
People have to come see you because they need your support, they need your influence, they just need you on board. So this year, let's get our money together, let's get our voter count up, let's be united, right?
And get engaged, please.
And let's get engaged, right? So you heard it first, right? You heard it first.
Part of it.
You got any parting words you like to tell the audience?
We did parting words, and I think what you just closed with was really good. But be part of it, Be part.
Okay, well,
and we all have a part to play. We all,
we all got a part to play.
We're all necessary.
We all got a part to play. We all gonna, don't ever think that just because you're not, you don't know too much or whatever. All you had to do was just come around. That's right. And everybody has a role. No matter if you're on the bottom of the totem pole, you want to make sure that you are there and available. So how we close the broadcast out, we do a little Wakanda out, right? You know what I'm saying? Special. This is special for Black History Month. We might have to do something in addition to Wakanda, right? For Black History Month, right? We'll think about that and we'll come back to you. But we appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Fli-City Blackout. Appreciate everybody who rocks with us and continue to keep watching the broadcast, who supports us in the community and neighborhood. We will be back at the city council meetings to help support the activity downtown. We will be out there advocating on behalf of the people in any way necessary. We are working at our senior centers this month. We got some youth events coming in through Black Lives Matter. Our Black Lives Matter chapter in LA said, "What's up?"
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I was just out there hanging out with them. They just bought a center, right? So, and they own it, right? So I'm very proud of the work that they're doing out there. Freeway, Freeway just opened up his dispensary.
I saw.
Yeah,
I saw.
You remember that was a long time coming because we were talking about it like years ago.
I was watching you and I had my T-shirt on.
Really?
I still.
But that was like 5-6 years ago, right? Social equity is what we're talking about here in the city of Flint. We talk about social equity programs. It's in Detroit right now. We're looking to bring it here in our community. Shout out to Freeway Rick for getting that dispensary going up there in LA. He had his birthday party too. It was a blast. Next time you got to come out for that. And he'll be back here in the city of Flint too here soon. So
let me know.
I definitely. He already looking for you. So. So we gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna keep going through. Man, we gotta have you back when you got situation going on. You want to do the rollout,
right?
Okay, and then until then, we're gonna tap in with you. We tapping out. Fli-City Blackout. Forever.
Yeah, no, that was man, I had a good time.
We light it up like sauce and sauce and sauce. We light it up like sauce and sauce and sauce. Fli-City got some dogs in it, dogs in it, dogs. Fli-City come off authentic, authentic. We light it up like sauce and sauce and sauce. We light it up like sauce and sauce and sauce.
My city experiencing a transition from pen and pen.